The Dru friggin' Samia dynasty has reportedly officially begun for the Minnesota Vikings. Woo! So we tabbed Samia as the number one choice to replace Pat Elflein at that starting right guard spot after Elflein went on IR, reportedly with torn ligaments in his thumbs. But conspiracy theory wise, we'll get into that maybe on a later video. But Dru Samia is reportedly going to be good to go. So Chris Thomason tweeted this out. Quote, source said that the Vikings right guard Pat Elflein suffered a torn ligament in his thumb and that Dru Samia has been working with the first team in practice and is expected to start Sunday at Indianapolis. So I'm pretty excited for Dru Samia. I like him. I like Oli Udoh. I was a little bit cooler on Samia. Frankly, I'm just in love with Oli Udoh. Yeah, but Samia gets a shot. Happy to see it. Frankly, I think that it should have been his job out of the gates, or at least open to competition as opposed to being just handed towards Pat Elflein. But let's talk about the new Vikings right guard today. So background, 6'5", 305, former four-star recruit from Danville, California. Took his talents out to Norman, Oklahoma. Was a 4-year starter for the Oklahoma Sooners. He blocked for 2 straight Heisman Trophy winners, Baker, and more importantly, Kyler. His first team All Big 12 in 2018, his final year at Oklahoma. Also his 2018 Co-Big 12 Offensive Lineman of the Year. Second team All-American, as well as a 2-time Big 12 academic, All-Academic. So you'd love to see that as well. And just a reputation as a tough, nasty, physical, getting after it. Like from the snap till just the last little tail end of the whistle type dude. Team captain, leader, chippy, gets after it. If you want to see like almost a full-on heavyweight fight, him against Quinnen Williams in that Oklahoma-Bama game, I mean, that's good stuff. It is. And he is a throwback. And I've talked about here, I want my center to be quiet, cerebral, be a leader of men. Bradbury is that. I want my tackles to be pretty quiet too. I like quiet offensive linemen. So tackles, quiet, do your job. Long arm, super athletic. Brian O'Neill is that. Ezra Cleveland will be that. But I like my guards to be a little bit a-hole-ish. I do, because you're pulling around a lot. You're often asked to do the dirty work on the interior. And Samia is that guy. He really is. That's why I love like Anthony Herrera's. Who else got after it? Just a guard. Oh, Richie Incognito? Sure. There just is something about being an interior offensive lineman, not the center, that you're just like, okay, I don't have to worry about snapping the ball. I don't have to worry about calling protections. I'm just going to hit you. I'm going to hit you. I'm going to hit you. And Samia is that dude. He's like Alex Boone, but with talent. It's just great. Testing numbers at the combine were 5.2 940, 7.89 3-cone. Did rack up some in the bench, but all relatively average or below average. That's why he didn't get as much love in that draft process as much more athletic Sooner teammate Cody Ford, for example. But certainly is not a liability in the zone running scheme. Does have enough movement skills, can reach, can get second level, as well as he's developing as a pass blocker as well. Preseason last year at 193 snaps, recorded a 62.0 PFF grade, allowed 4 pressures, no sacks, did have 4 penalties, but yeah. Week 17 against the Bears, exhibition game, essentially played 31 snaps, and frankly the tape, it wasn't great. So he had a 47.8 PFF grade. Frankly, I think Oli Udoh's tape was much better. He was working at right tackle. Samia was at right guard. Interestingly, Dakota Dozier was at center. But Samia, he does have the strength. The anchor was there. It just seems like he reached at times. A little bit of lunging, a little bit not having his feet underneath him. It was shades of the way that TJ Clemmings played left tackle, which is not ideal. But coming into this offseason, Samia is like one of the many players who it was a big disservice for them not to have that offseason OTAs, mini camps, etc. But it was curious why Samia wasn't really in the left guard competition, because remember, like one of the first Zoom press conferences, Kubiak's like, well, it's AC, Avianta Collins, and Dakota Dozier. Dru was also there. Cool. But perhaps the team only saw him as a right guard specifically because the talent, the different skill sets needed between guards is not as stark as it is left tackle to right tackle, but there is still a little bit of a gap there. Right guard, you want a little bit more physicality. Left guard, a little bit more movement skills. So maybe the Vikings saw him as a right guard only. That's why he wasn't in the left guard competition. And also it's smart because maybe Pat Elflein, even before he got hurt, allegedly, he was going to be on a short hook, which, I mean, would be perfectly fine. But Zimmer, talking at a press conference today, it was praising Samia's improved technique, improved footwork. So he's got that going on, and finally gets a shot. Better strap up. DeForest Buckner's coming in, and it's going to be a long day, man. Bring that lunch pail. But I'm really excited because Samia, he's got the talent. He finally has opportunity now. Elflein. All right, so Zimmer said Zimmer has the impression that Elflein will be back pretty soon, but if he does have torn ligaments in his thumb, and with as much hand fighting, as much you use your thumb on the interior offensive line, I don't see it. I just don't. So Samia does have a chance here to keep Elflein at bay, secure that job, and he can hold it down for a long time. Because if he sticks at right guard, that Bradbury, Samia, O'Neal sequence could be a Vikings mainstay for a long, long time. So I'm excited to see it. Let's get going. 73. Let's rock and roll. All right, so your thoughts. Dru Samia starting Sunday, reportedly, at right guard. Let us know in the comment section below. Subscribe for daily Vikings takes. Want to support that work? Pull some on the Venmo. But until next time, Skol, production value.